1, 2, action. What's up guys? Farhan here, today with Zah once again, and here today I have is the Rambo, in inverted commas. Yeah, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for coming on board.
No problem.
Despite you wanting to remain anonymous, he still want to share his bike. Okay, the Triumph Rocket 3R.
Yes, 3R Roadster Chrome
2023.
2023.
Oh,
2023 Chrome Edition.
Yeah.
wow. I have to say the chrome really looks very striking, you know.
Yeah, can see my face like mirror. You know? Handsome bro, handsome, no worries. Rambo has a YouTube channel. It's called Rambo Adventures. So it's over here if you want to check it out. And yeah, before Rambo tell us a story about his Rocket 3R, I'm gonna give a bit of background about it.
A successor to the Rocket 3 manufactured from 2004 to 2017, the similarly named Triumph Rocket 3 with a numeral is a power cruiser with all of the modern features and technology of the 21st century. Manufactured since 2019, this second-generation Rocket 3 has two variations, the sports-oriented R and the touring-oriented GT. Distinguished for its beastly and muscular, retro-inspired styling, its engine is the largest on any production motorcycle in the world. A liquid-cooled, 2,458cc, inline 3-cylinder, 4-stroke, DOHC, with fuel injection and a 6-speed manual transmission.
Why the Rocket 3R?
Previously, I used to ride a Softail FXDR. Before that was a Sportster 883. Naturally, 883 felt underpowered, so I went to FXDR 114. So that was not bad. I played with it for 3 years, built up to stage 2 and all. But then both bikes were Harley, so I wanted something different, a more powerful power cruiser that is unique. So the only one on the market was a Rocket 3. So there's a GT and an R. For my style of riding, I prefer the Roadster. So the GT has a backrest, forward control, a visor, the handlebars are pulled back.
So the GT is much more of a cruiser.
Yeah, that's more cruiser. It even comes with the soft back.
Okay.
But the R is stripped back, mid control. And that's why I have to always ride either with a tailback or a backpack. I'm planning to get some panniers for this for touring. But the R is a bit more aggressive lah. So that's why I prefer to get this.
It's also more of a street configuration. It should be much more comfortable for you lah.
Yeah, it's surprisingly comfortable for everyday ride. So I ride this to work every day, everywhere. This is my workhorse. Every month I clock more than 1,000 km on this bike. It drinks fuel a lot, but it's still not so bad.
So, how much you spend per month on fuel itself?
Less than 200 actually.
Oh, okay.
So it's not too bad lah.
Pump GB, right?
No, I don't pump GB.
Oh, okay.
How's the consumption like?
1 liter gives you 12 km in sport mode. Road and rain mode gives you better mileage. But I always ride in sport because higher response, more torquey, easier for me to get out of situations in Singapore lah.
How big is the fuel tank and how far can you go?
Max range 200 km. If I'm not wrong, it's 18.7. It looks big, but it's actually not very big because your air intake is under the tank. So the tank is like, it's actually shaped upward because the middle is where your spine is.
I have to say the engine itself is very beastly, almost like a car engine.
Yeah, very bulky, muscular.
And it beats out like Goldwing.
I think it looks more nicer than the Boxer of the GS.
The design of the exhaust was one of the reasons why I like the bike. So, yes, 3 exhausts. So you got 2 over here, and you got 1 more, the one that you're looking at, the small one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The headers, they're made with, they use high pressure water to actually cut up. So there's a term for it, but I forgot. So that's how they created it.
Oh, okay.
Then your slip-on, the 2 and the 1, there's actually a cat in the middle, right at the bottom. So that's why the exhaust is very heavy at the rear.
I see,
But I think in terms of stabilization, you should provide that.
It's a very, very stable bike, very comfortable. But like every bike, there's pros and cons. So the pros is, in long distance, not bad. But the downside is, it's very heavy behind. So the rear suspension tends to be stiff. So if I ride it a bit hard, and you hit multiple humps or bumps, right, you actually can get a tank slapper. I got it once. So the one way to fix, I've been talking to the other riders, is you need to change the rear suspension. It's too stiff, even the lower setting compared to the front. So I've adjusted it, but I need to change that. So that's one thing that this bike solved the downside.
Okay.
Because it was designed to be a speed tripper on steroid. Because it's 330 kg wet, the weight is sort of pulling back the maximum ability of this bike.
How would you describe its handling?
I've rode the speed tripper. It handles like a speed tripper. So it handles like a naked bike the moment you move above 10 km. Very, very easy. No need to put any weight into the handlebar. It glides. It can take corners. It's a very deceiving bike.
Oh, that's surprising to hear.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a cruiser. It feels like a naked bike.
So you can say it's very agile and nimble lah.
Yeah, it very, very nimble for its size.
But how with a bike this size, how would you actually like lane split in traffic?
On the highway, no problem. Normal roads, maybe need to be a bit more careful. But everyday lane splitting, no problem. It's actually quite doable. Not as fast as the smaller bike, but cautiously you still can lane split quite decently well.
Also, I see there's heated grips here, cruise control.
You got tire pressure monitor, you got quick shifter, so I added a quick shifter to it.
Oh.
This is stock.
No, all this is add-on. The only thing I don't have is your Bluetooth module, which you can see your path and all that. Because my TFT display is not very big, no point buying it. But the quick shifter is amazing, it's fun.
Yeah, because you don't need to change gear, right?
Yeah.
Is it heavy, the gear?
No, hydraulic clutch. So to pull in, it's easy, but it will always try to fly back out. Changing gear, no issue. But when I'm stuck in the jam, it's always fighting me. Because it likes to throw out very fast. But the hydraulic clutch does help. You don't feel as tired as a cable clutch. Because my previous two bikes were cable. And I have my own YouTube channel, so that's why I have a chance to ride a lot of bikes. So I was able to compare. But weirdly, I wasn't able to test ride this bike before I buy. So I took like 5 to 6 months to research, try to look at all the reviews, try to understand how this bike was made and everything before I finally went to get it. Triumph's dealership, Mahfuz, he knows. I was talking to him for a very long time. And he keeps saying, every month you come and check the bike's still there. Because I was very, very sure to buy it. Because without test ride, sometimes you might not like the bike. But after I bought it, no regret.
How is it in city situations?
It's hot. So there's 2 radiator fans at the front. When you turn on the bike, within 2 minutes it will turn on. So before I even leave my house car park, the radiator will be blowing the heat up all the way. But as hot as it gets, even if it's unbearable for me, when you look at the dash, your radiator temperature is only 3/4. It's not maxed out. So it explains why there's 2 fans. And in city ride, like I said, the torque is very good. It's 221 Newton meter of torque, 165 horsepower. I get 80% of it at 2,500 RPM. So every time I twist, it's power. And sometimes I tend to forget about it. So like if I never ride for very long, I go overseas and come back, I will accidentally twist if it's an amber light, and there are times where I almost flew off.
Lucky never wheelie,
But I felt the front wheel come out. I spin my tire a few times just by normally riding off the traffic light. That means I never whack. Just spiritly riding,
So
you
this-
will whack my traction control.
This bike really aggressive. In
Yeah,
its nature.
if you forget, if the bike actually, you need to respect it. Riding it, you remember how dangerous or how powerful it is. Even when I want to push the bike, I'm always very cautious. Heavy. Only thing I wish was if there was a reverse gear. There's no reverse gear on this. I have to think where I park.
To think where you park, and then you actually have to like push manually, straddling on your bike, and then reversing.
It's heavy, yeah. Sometimes I get off and try, but it's just heavy.
So how heavy it is actually?
Wet 330. So your full tank is 330 kg.
Wow. And single swing arm also.
Single swing arm, shaft driven. So the suspension front and back is Showa.
But you said that you actually
The
modified
rear,
one.
the rear I'm planning to change to either Wilbur or Nitron. The front is okay, maybe just change the cartridge, but the rear needs to change. Yeah, that one's a definite.
The other day, you were sharing a story just now. Somebody actually banged into your bike.
Yeah. So it was parked like this, hid in at the shop house. Then someone driving a Honda Civic reversed in, hit the rear of my bike so hard that my kickstand went in. Then it dropped on the left. Yeah, and it was only 1.5 weeks old.
Oh my god. Oh. Heart pain.
I haven't go for servicing. I changed both headlight. One is 1003.
One headlight.
1003. So I changed both. My left fork 4K radiator cover was at like $1,000. The bottom half of the engine cover we had to change. That was 10,000. Rear axle, rear assembly, clutch, mirror, foot pack, 300-400 each.
300-400 for the foot pack.
200 plus, 300 plus your quick shifters another 600. So
wow. So all in all, how much actually?
I don't know, 30 plus?
30 plus.
Yeah, around there. But because of that, I understood the bike even more. We took out a part and then we realized that the frame on this bike is non-existent. I think the camera can catch. So there's this one bolt over here. Your frame starts there. It combines together into a spine where your ram intake is mixed together. So it's just one piece. It comes here. It goes on one side and then there's two parts holding the seat. So the bottom, no frame at all. Everything is bolted to the engine.
So the engine itself is the frame.
Yeah, so that's why we cannot put crash bar. Because anything happen, your engine is going to get a hairline crack or it's going to get fatigued. So what they recommend is we rather just drop the bike, change your exhaust and the exterior. So you won't affect the engine itself. So the air filter is here. You can see the tree intake. Yeah, and the engine, if you realize, most inline tree is like this. But for this, they build it this way because of the size. The downside is your cams. They are turning this way. So I think this is on the R18. When you turn on the bike, they'll swerve once.
Okay.
And in neutral, when you throttle, the bike will always shift to the left. If you're riding, you let go both hands, straight away the bike will swerve.
Oh, okay.
Because of the cam. So what they did was, they took the inlet and outlet cams, they swapped it, so it goes the opposite direction to try reduce, but it's still very obvious. So it took me a while to get used to that. So even in cruise control, I always need to have one hand on the handlebar. The moment you let go, straight away it will swerve left.
Later we see.
Hey, how's the servicing like for this bike? I understand that you ride it as a daily, because
So-
I think they offer like what, 3 years free servicing.
4 years free
4 years for the
servicing,
first, yes. So Mahfuz told me lah.
1 valve clearance, 4-year warranty. So when I look at it, it's actually quite good. In the book, it says once every 10,000, but because of Singapore's climate, the engine oil we use is slightly different. The dealer recommends once every 5,000 to 6,000. So I've done 2 servicing. I need to go back for 1 more soon. It's about the same as every other bike, once every 6 months. It's because of our climate.
4 bottles of engine oil by presumption.
This one I'm not very sure because I never asked also. But I recall vaguely I heard was 5.
5.
But so I cannot confirm how much.
Regardless, whatever it is, you just go back to Triumph, they'll take care of you lah.
Yeah, they will take care. 4 years warranty, so no issue. I recently changed the horn because the horn and the bike makes no sense. The
Oh, not garang enough.
yeah, it was very bad. So I added on the horn.
Okay.
Yeah. The storage space below the seat also is
storage.
2 towels and 1 phone inside a waterproof compartment to charge. So you can charge our phone inside, or you can charge here. You can always plug in the DID, is it?
There's a smoking pot there lah. Okay.
Then you can charge. But I don't use this because I have to buy a mounting for the phone. But it's an option lah.
I see. So how much actually is the price of this bike?
The base model of the R, if I recall correctly, it's just shy of 60. The GT is usually 2,000 to 3,000 more. But mine was the chrome. It was about 3 to 4K more than the base model. So it's about 60. The machine price is about 62, 63.
Just
Then you add in the accessories and other stuff.
you got all in lah, everything is
Yeah. It is still cheaper than a Ducati. It's still cheaper than a Harley for the price and what you're getting. That's one of the reasons why I chose Triumph also. Even though this is their highest end, the most expensive bike out there, with whatever they have, if you look side by side, it is still more bang for the buck. So I wouldn't, a lot of them think it's like 80, 90K, but It's no. Everything in was only about 70 plus.
So it's much cheaper than
Yeah,
the-
that's why. So
than
it
the
makes
BMW,
sense for me to get this compared to a Diavel or a CVO Harley, almost what, 100k?
Yeah lah. I'm surprised, you know,
Yeah.
the price, if you compare price of these bikes, right? So far, where has the furthest you've been, you rode this before?
The furthest I went is Kelang, just outside JB.
I thought you go up further.
Oh, I
go
haven't because
Melaka.
I've only been riding this since last year September. But I do plan to ride up further. That's why I'm planning to get suspension, panniers, the windshield, the type where you can just add on very easily and you can take out when you're not using. Because I still want a clean look for Singapore, but when I'm touring, I also want to refit.
The thing I love about Triumph is that they all have the necessary aftermarket
Yeah.
accessories.
It's cool, that's
all
cool.
built for the specific models that they carry.
So the GT panniers, the soft luggage, I can add onto my R, my Roadster. And it's a kind where once you take out, it's like a bag, and your frame closes up, and it follows the arc of your fairing.
Oh, that's cool, man.
So it's hidden. Then if you want to, you pull it out, and you fix.
I see. How
So
much?
there's a lot of thought put into this bike. If you go and look at Triumph Factory's video, very impressive. They dropped 40 kg from the old model to do this. But the downside, when you want to fix something, you end up taking out half the bike. You want to do wiring, you want to run some new wires, you want to access your spark plug, all that. Your tank comes off, your seat comes
Oh
off.
my god.
Oh,
A lot of things comes off.
it is, yeah.
So
There's a small toolkit on the bike. There's 2 Allen key. Y'all just try to guess where is it.
I'm guessing it's in here lah.
Hello? It's in a very weird area.
Airbox, my presumption.
So it's here. Behind this cover, you got 2 Allen key and your access to the rebound of your rear suspension. I didn't know until I saw the manual.
So what this cap is for, actually?
That's for engine oil.
Okay.
Then this big one here is radiator, and this one is the fuel.
Oh my god, it's just a cap and there's a separate
Yeah.
lock underneath.
So it's a lock. It's quite fun to do that lah. This one is brushed aluminium. My bike used to have a lot of aluminium parts, but I sprayed paint. So this used to be silver. This used to be silver. A lot of it was silver or brushed. I painted all gloss black, including this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Because you know the bike dropped, so I one shot just spray and fix. The chrome is handmade, so it's a copper. Then they handmade it, layered, and they made it into a chrome. And this black is a sticker. Technically, I can take out and it can be a full chrome, but I like it like that. But it's not explicitly written that you can take out. I found out from another rider from UK that you can actually take it out. So you sort of got the option to take out. And the dash also is an Allen key, you can adjust.
I bet you have. Your weekend is spent like polishing the bike.
Weirdly, I don't clean it so
you don't
often.
know.
You only, yeah, he told us he recently watched it for this video.
So I ceramic coated it. So most of the time I just wash down, soap, and then that's it. I don't have to really put
Detail.
elbow grease into it. You pour water and you wipe, it comes off nicely.
Okay lah. So we spoke a lot of things that you love about the Rocket PR. What is some of the things that you're not really fond of, or maybe it's something that Triumph can improve on?
First thing is add the reverse gear to this. A lot of times I got stuck, I cannot move. So one is reverse gear, 2 is the suspension. It's something to look at, and Triumph does know about it. That's why their new Storm variant, their wheels are different. They are trying to address that issue. So that's the second one. And the third one, I hate brushed aluminium.
Because it's difficult to clean, right?
Yes, it's stained. Then I have to get auto saw, then I have to elbow grease. So that's why you see you got the stains. Then a lot of work. The headers also, it will start to stain. And the weird part is, the headers used to be the same color as this.
Ah.
But because of the heat, within a week it changed to bronze. When I bought it, it was silver. That's how hot it is lah.
Imagine if it is gold. Sekali it becomes silver, then become bronze. It just downgrade. Gold, silver, bronze.
Because that's brushed, there's no coating. So these are the 3 things that I would wish they sort. And the 4th one maybe is the Sprint Triple Double R has a electronically controllable suspension. Because for the price of this bike, at least they should have that where I can change with the mode. Because it does feel that it's not fair for the price. So that's the one thing and I feel they should do. The brakes are fine. Both your front and rear are Brembo brake. It's strong, it's good, but you can still see it's struggling with the weight of the bike. Small things, but all in all, yeah, I'll still say I'm very impressed, very happy. It is very usable for daily ride.
This one, how fast have you been on
the bike?
Right.
In
In Malaysia.
the fastest 200 on this, so without visor, nothing.
How was the performance at such high speed? Does the bike like steering feels wobbly?
I haven't maxed out my RPM, so I was at 120 km, 6 gear. I twist my throttle, I hit 200 already. Because 0 to 100 on this bike is 2.7 seconds. The top speed is electronically capped, if I'm not wrong, at 240 or 250. So if I tune it, you can push, and I've seen riders do it. So it's a very detuned bike. 200 km is normal on this. But like I say, because of the suspension, when I went at that speed, then I realized the suspension is not as good as it's supposed to be.
Jeez.
But hitting that speed is just twist. No need to change gear. Because the gearing, your torque is so low, you can be at a very high gear at a low speed cruising. But when you twist, you almost get 100% straight away. And it hits you in the face. So every time you twist, straight away you go back.
The G-force, huh?
Yeah, it hits you like a planet flying at your face.
Reminds me of Will Smith in Men in Black, you know, when the car becomes
Feels like that lah.
But do you feel that, I don't know, is it too cumbersome or not? I know that you shared that this is your daily lah. But
Slow speed, yeah.
Slow speed
Like
is
you go into very tight places, you want to move around, then it's a pain. But in Singapore, most of the places are okay. One thing I realized is I have to be ready to pay for parking. A lot of shopping centers, $1.60, I'll just go and park. I won't go and try and find the alley with the free parking. I'll just pay, I'll go park at a normal lot, peace of mind. So it's okay.
Street parking no, huh?
Yeah, so I'm a bit careful where I park because sometimes I do struggle to come out. So within the first month I learned it, then I always park in places where it's level. When I park in the lots, I always try to take the sides. Because in between, due to the handlebar, I tend to be very close to other riders.
Even if I was another rider, I would be cursing this bike, you know. Sialah, so big, sia. You take up almost like 1.5 lots. I'll be like cursing.
Yeah, it sticks out of the lots sometimes. But it's still, when you're moving, very comfortable. Pillion, also very comfortable. And the packs, yeah, not sure if you all know, but it's hidden. This is the pack.
Oh, okay, that's cool, sia.
So if you're not using, then you can push it in.
This one, motorbike or spaceship, sia.
So like I said, a lot of thought has been put into the bike. You can see it from the way they designed it.
What's the reaction on the road, you know, when you're riding it around?
Okay, the reason why I changed to a black and chrome bike for my previous FXDR. See, if you see my channel, it's orange. Very bright, very loud. So I wanted to like, okay lah, buy a bigger bike, but maybe go black, chrome, so it's not so loud. End up it's worse. So, lorry driver, pedestrian, car drivers, people who never see bike or don't ride, everyone will come up and talk. At traffic light, people will horn at me, lower the window and say, hey bro, nice bike. So a lot of positive interaction. A lot of them don't know about this bike. They come up to me and ask, hey, it's 2500cc, how heavy is it? So it's nice that non-riders are actually interested because like a lot of them don't really like riders, they don't care about bikes. Only people who ride like us will take interest in any bike. So the fact that even lorry bus drivers also are interested, it's nice to see positive reaction. I have friends who never ride come down to see the bike and ask about it as well.
On first glance, it's very radical. Maybe if I'm not a biker guy, I will see, what the heck is this?
I'll be like, this one spaceship or what?
Yeah, it's something like out of the Blade Runner.
Out of the, you know, you don't usually see this kind of design at any bike, you know.
Yeah, but at the same time, it still has a classic silhouette. It's a beauty on its own.
It's a good bike and it's a nice chat having to meet you all finally after a while.
So Rambo, final question. What is your best memory with your bike right here?
I wouldn't say there's one particular one. I would say it's a distinguished gentleman's ride. Because I wore a suit, I ride with his bike and it was as retro as you could get. So I guess that's one of the more fond memories.
Well, first of all, you know, if I didn't recognize you, I'll probably come up to you lah. And certainly an interesting sight. I think this is one of my handful of times seeing the Rocket 3R up close, other than at the dealership lah.
The design, the way it is engineered is really absolutely remarkable, I have to say. Triumph did
British beer, fish and chip.
a fair
Once again, I was about to say your real name. Rambo, thank you so much for coming out
Thanks
here.
for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
And sharing your rocketry with us. Any riders want to review the bike, get in touch with us on our social media pages below.
And if you like this video, like and share this video with your riding kakis, and don't forget to subscribe.
And also don't forget to follow Rambo here on Rambo Adventures. His YouTube channel is right over here. Check out for more videos on his Rocketry R and other videos of his previous bikes as well. So that's it for the vlog. We'll see you guys in the next one.